now? Hold
Oh,
on.
it says live.
Yeah, I know. Hello,
Can you guys
everyone.
hear us?
Yeah. So, guys, you need to let us know if you can hear us because this has been the most error-prone attempt at starting a show that I have ever experienced.
In chat, somebody said they got a 500 error.
You heard something happened, and the crowd goes wild. There you are. Okay. All right. Well, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the belated, slightly, Lords of the Night. With me, as always, until YouTube decides to spike us again, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
YouTube, fix your shit.
And the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
Like now, please.
And
Thank
I'm your
you.
Lord of Punishment, unwillingly your Lord of Punishment tonight, Scribe Light. Guys, so apologies. I had no control over this. The first attempt at making this stream would not give me a start broadcast button. The control panel thing, it just wouldn't appear. And so I was like, I have no idea what to do. Then I was getting a bunch of 500 internal errors trying to start a second stream. When I finally did get a second stream registered, I saw that there was like 3 different clones of the stream in my account. So I had to zap those and stick to this one. And then when I finally did log in and I got a start broadcast stream, I hit it and it said failed to start the show. And I'm like, what? I tried it again, failed to start the show. Like, okay, well, I guess I can't do anything. And then on like the 5th try, it worked. Now, I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know if YouTube, in culling all the dummy accounts or dummy subscriptions that they did today or in the last 24 hours, has done something else. But for as long as we are able, we're going to broadcast, hopefully for the whole show.
You're not suggesting YouTube fucked something up, are you?
I don't know, but it just happens to be on my day. So anyway, give a couple extra minutes here before we get into the news and stuff to let people sort of catch up with the current situation because it's been so hectic. And I apologize for the confusion on Twitter. I didn't have any control over this, guys. It was just complete YouTube fuckery, let's say. But anyway, chat. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone has had a good week so far, and your weekend is looking shiny and bright, or at least not overheated or too cold, depending on where you are. Satsu, Monkey, how are you? How are you, Satsu?
I am good. I had a pretty uneventful day, but otherwise pretty good.
All right, Monkey, how are you?
I fell down the stairs. I was already sore, and I fell down the stairs, so that's how I am. How are you, Scribe?
Well, I'll tell you, I had, for all intents and purposes, I had a very, 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 very good day. Work was calm and quiet. And then we had our holiday party, which was basically one giant free, delicious lunch at a barbecue place, which is great. Then we went back to the office and did our little Secret Santa gift exchange. And then I come home a little later than usual. Like, I was at work for an extra, 2.5 hours than I should have been, but it was all for party stuff, so I didn't have any really reason to complain. Came home, and then just about 5-10 minutes ago, or a little less, Grand Monkey got my presents, and I got to hear her get her presents, and I'm so happy now.
I wish you could have seen it live. She was smiling so big when she opened the doll. She loved it.
I'm so happy. I'm glad that she got those, and I'm glad she's enjoying it. Have you taken a look at anything I got you, Monkey?
I have indeed. I just haven't sat down to watch them yet.
All right. Well, the one thing is going to take you some time because there's 7 seasons there.
Now, of the 2, that's the one I'm actually looking the most forward to.
Yeah. Oh man. You know what I wish we could do? I wish we could watch that stuff in tandem. I haven't watched The Shield, the greatest television show ever made. I haven't watched done a sit through that show in a couple of years now. So I wish we could sit down together and watch them at the same time because that'd be great. But
they have that Rabbit TV thing. I wonder if we could do it through there.
I don't know. Well, you look into that because I'm not going to be here.
I'll talk to Polly because I know they watch stuff through there. So yeah, we'll figure that out.
Okay. If we can watch that stuff together and do live commentary for anybody else that wants to watch that show in the future, that'd be great. Anyway, guys, it looks like we are at our usual starting population for the show. So Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games, hit that like button if you have not already, and a good portion of you have not, but decidedly a larger portion of you have than is usual, so I appreciate that. Thank you. And please share our stuff. If tonight's adventure in just trying to get this stream going has proven nothing else, it's that YouTube don't have its shit together with what they say they can do for a creator, which also falls into the realm of telling people that we exist. So, especially, now, if they took away dummy subscribers or things they found out to be like, spam accounts or something, whatever. I didn't lose any, so far as I can tell. So all of my viewers are totes legit, and I appreciate that.
Oh, I love 60.
Thank you, James Colley. No, Scribe, that didn't sound gay at all. What?
Which part?
Yeah, which part? Because I said a lot of things, and I said it in various intonations, so who knows what it sounded like. Anyway, do we have anything? Are you guys gaming tonight?
Yeah, we are. We're going to be giving away a copy of Just Cause 3 XXL edition.
Ooh.
So if you guys are fans of that or just fans of free games, come check us out.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah Plyer. Hello, everyone. Missed you. Working 10 hours every day until at least Christmas. Wishing everyone a safe holiday. Love you all. Love you too, Sarah.
I love you back, Sarah. You enjoy your holiday if we don't see you before then.
Oh, James Colley says, watching The Shield together. Hey, I'll tell you what.
It's guy love.
It is a bromance watching The Shield together. Trust me. After Monkey sees the first couple episodes, he is going to be in love with certain men. Not just me, but the characters in the show. And not in a gay way. Holy cats.
Wow.
Boatman, thank you very much. Will we be seeing any Lords a-leaping this Christmas? Have a merry and a very happy Christmas to you all. Well, thank you, Boatman. That is very, very generous of you.
You won't see this Lord leaping.
You won't see Monkey leaping, and White Men Can't Jump, so I won't be doing much, but talk to Satsu.
Satsu, you going to be leaping?
No.
Thank you again, Boatman. It's very, very generous.
And over on my Streamlabs, Boatman, thank you so much. He said, have a Merry Christmas and have a Merry and a very happy Christmas. Thank you. Thank you indeed. Wow.
Check yours, Satsu.
Oh, yeah. Let me do that.
Wow. Thank you, Boatman. That's very nice of you. Well, that is my day just gets better and better with every minute. Every part of my day so far has been great. I'm hoping not to nix it, except for YouTube. Yeah, well, but if that's my biggest complaint of the day, I think I'm doing okay.
Indeed.
All right, then. Well, with all of that as preamble, shall we get into the news?
Indeed.
Now, I made a very poor pun of the title, as I usually do, but I honestly wasn't sure I was reading the headline right this afternoon when I saw it. But Johnson & Johnson shares plunge after report that says it knew about asbestos in its baby powder.
What the fuck?
Now, asbestos and baby powder are two concepts that I honestly hadn't thought would go together. But apparently that is the case. Thank you, James Colley, again. Monkey will be tumbling down the stairs.
Thank you, Boatman. Appreciate it, buddy.
You are awesome. Dectran, The Shield, the Idris Elba and Michael... Idris Elba's not in The Shield. He was on The Wire, not The Shield.
Wire, yeah.
But, it's all right.
Which was a good show, too. But...
Oh, yeah. Well, second season was a little goofy, but everything else was all right.
Most of those shows are like that, though. The first season's always great, and then the second season's like they don't know what to do.
Oh, like Penny Dreadful. Penny Dreadful is one of those that's like exactly that. The first season's like, oh my god, this is like this gothic, supernatural vampire hunting Victorian. Oh, it's great. And then the second, third seasons. Anyway, thank you, Mashisu. In Monkey's case, it won't be one Lord a leaping; it will be one Lord of falling down the stairs again. They're not going to let you live. They're not going to let you live this down the stairs, Monkey. Hey. All right. Well, back to another tragedy. Johnson & Johnson's stock tumbled 10% on Friday, wiping out close to $40 billion of its market value after a Reuters report said the company knew for decades that asbestos was in its baby powder.
Jesus.
The company has been grappling with lawsuits alleging some of its talcum powder products cause cancer. But the Reuters report cites documents and other evidence that indicate company executives, mine managers, scientists, doctors, and lawyers knew about the problem and failed to disclose it to regulators or the public. It was Johnson & Johnson's worst day since 2002. The plunge in J&J's shares rippled across Wall Street. J&J is among the most widely held stocks, and it's also a member of the Dow. Reuters says it examined documents including depositions and trial testimony that show from at least 1971 to the early 2000s, J&J's raw talc and finished baby powders sometimes tested positive for small amounts of asbestos, a human carcinogen that can cause cancer. According to Reuters, the documents also depict successful efforts to influence U.S. regulators' plans to limit asbestos in cosmetic talc products and scientific research on the health effects of talc. Holy shit. Thank you, Mr. Baker. If Santa Claus knows who's been naughty or nice, why didn't he stop the other reindeer from bullying Rudolph?
Because Santa was a bastard and went along with that bullying.
Santa only knows the moral compass of humans.
Look.
His psychic power does not extend to the animal kingdom.
No.
That's why.
Santa Claus was a dick. He doesn't like disabled people until they can do something for him.
I was at least trying to give Santa the benefit of the doubt.
No.
Holy cats! Thank you, Prospero. 'Tis the season. Merry Christmas, Scribe. Well, Merry Christmas to you.
Holy shit, guys!
You're making me tear up here. Seriously, I'm getting all misty. That's ridiculously generous of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prospero.
I'm going to pay it forward. I won't say how right now, but I'm going to pay this generosity forward. I promise you that.
He giving it all to Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Well, I may indeed pay it forward to a medical institution of a kind. Let's put it that way.
He's gonna buy some toys for Dr. Pepper's illegitimate children.
Oh, don't make me laugh.
So moving on with the this ridiculousness. The quote, the Reuters article is one-sided, false, and inflammatory, Johnson & Johnson said in a lengthy statement about the report. Johnson & Johnson's baby powder is safe and asbestos-free, unquote. Well, now that is a very concrete statement against. So now it's up to other people to take a look at whatever Reuters discovered and find out if that's actually true. Johnson's baby powder is safe. Was it safe? That's the better question, Johnson & Johnson. Was it safe? Thank you, Jacob Jett. Well, shit. First super chat. How can I top Boatman? With a whip and a leather mask.
Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. Why do our feet smell but our noses run? Because our anatomy was decided upon by committee. That's why. That's kind of a George Carlin kind of thing, you know.
No, I got you.
Or a Gallagher kind of thing. It's like, why do they call them buildings? They're already built. They should be called builts. And now my lights are flickering. God, I hope my power doesn't go out. That'd be all sorts of way to cap off the day.
You guys are breaking Scribe's house with your generosity.
Oh my God, it's overwhelming. It's over 9,000. Let's see. Anyway, so let's pause for a second and take this in. All right, so Reuters says X, Johnson & Johnson says Y. I don't know of Reuters to be a far ideological reactionary news source, per se. So, what was that?
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh, who's that?
There's a 3-year-old with a Nerf gun behind me.
Uh-oh.
I'm about to get it execution style.
Oh, so she's going to give you a double tap to the back of the head?
Yes. Oh.
There you go.
Do you hear the glee in her voice that she's about to shoot me?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
She gets that glee from her grandmother.
we just witnessed a murder.
I know, right?
I love you, little butt.
I'm gonna shoot him again.
Those Nerf darts. The way Monkey's body is right now, those Nerf darts are the equivalent of actual pellet guns.
Let me. Oh my goodness! Now
Blow that up.
she had grandma open the door, and she snuck in using grandma as a shield, so I couldn't see her because she's slick like that.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Oh, sorry, guys.
Why don't you and the gun go upstairs and see Bill? You could go shoot
I love you.
Okay.
She's like, yeah, I'm still gonna shoot you.
Yeah, she's going to shoot her father now.
Thank you, Jacob Jett. Somehow you made this stream gayer than it already was. Good job, Scribe. Well, because we want to watch The Shield? I don't understand.
Ebony says, I thought Grand Monkey loved you. Yeah, that's why she came to me first to do this. It's playtime.
Am I having a windstorm outside or something? Is that what's going on?
I told you, Romeo. I predicted it a long time ago. Monkey just he's too blind to see it.
Yeah, there's some weather going on outside. So I don't know, guys. If my power suddenly goes out, well, I guess we'll see. So if I suddenly disappear, that's probably why. Thank you, Mr. Baker. By the way, Monkey, The Shield is amazing, easily having the best pilot of all time and the best finale. If you disagree, you're a communist. I completely agree. You know, one of the advantages that show had was that at the time there was a Hollywood, I believe it was a writer's strike or something like that. Mm-hmm. And as a consequence, all these productions that had been going on had to stop. And so you had all of these Hollywood level people that had nothing to do. And this show was in production at the time, or in pre-production. So they were able to get Hollywood level casting directors and people like that, casting agents. And they got Hollywood level talent, not just for the main parts, but even for the small parts in the show, the extras or the sub B plots. And that pilot episode is so fucking amazing because you've got Hollywood super movie level quality of actors and portrayals and things in a TV show pilot. It was great. It set the tone for the whole show because then everybody wanted to be on it, and it was great. So anyway. Is there still a Grand Monkey there? Oh, yeah, there is.
Okay, calm down. I don't think he could hear you.
She's hiding from me. You guys, I'm gonna mute. You guys can go ahead and talk.
Okay. So, Satsu, going back to the article, since we've been pleasantly delayed by so many wonderful things tonight, and I'm not being sarcastic there. Baby powder with asbestos. So. This isn't Fox News or MSNBC going against some, ideological company or something. Now, it's not to say that news sources and news institutions can't jump the gun, so to speak, and get something wrong. But it seems to me that of all places that wouldn't go public with something like this unless they were pretty assured that they had what they say they have, do you think Johnson & Johnson is fucked here?
Well, I'm sorry.
Maybe.
I think it was Backscan said in chat a little while ago that the mines are together, the asbestos and talc.
Yeah.
Depending on how far back it goes, I know they said 71.
71 to the early 2000s.
When did they know that it was a carcinogen? That wasn't that long ago, was it?
When was asbestos discovered to be a carcinogen?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. When did asbestos stop being used?
Well, the reason I ask is just because, I mean, that to me is going to determine, how culpable she is in rare form. I don't know.
The concern of asbestos-related illnesses in modern times began with the 20th century and escalated during the 20s and 30s.
Oh,
so it was it was believed. I mean, that's not to say they didn't still use it after the 30s, but it was relatively known that there was a problem with it very early on in the 20th century.
I think they're looking at least an interesting investigation.
And lawsuits up the yin yang if there's any substance to what Reuters found.
Yeah, indeed.
Anyway, so that happened. I'm going to whip through the next couple of stories a little faster than I might otherwise because we are, like I say, pleasantly delayed and a little bit short on time.
Y'all ever notice Grand Monkey is like here on Scribe's nights, and on my nights she never shows up. I'm starting to think I think she likes you more than she likes me.
Well, I got her a doll.
I got her. Her mom actually yelled at me because when she got here, I didn't even know she was actually coming. I was just kind of hoping. Yeah. And I had to go to the store today, which is where my bad day started. But as soon as I walked in, right on a table up front, when I walked in there, they had a little princess sticker book, and I got it for her. So when she got here, first thing I said to her was, "I got you something." And her mom goes, "Will you please tell him that Christmas is next week?" That's when we're celebrating is next week with them. I'm like, shut up. This isn't for Christmas.
Yeah, spoiling a little girl is no horrible thing in my book. So. Anyway, you guys like some Mueller?
No.
Well,
I'm tired of him. He needs to go away.
There's something crazy going on. Mystery Mueller mayhem at a Washington court.
Oh.
Fridays at the D.C. federal courthouse are typically days of high alert for the press corps trying to discern what special counsel Robert Mueller's next legal action will be. But this Friday, court officials went to extreme measures to ensure it was as difficult as possible to figure out what Mueller's team was doing as the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit held a secret and mysterious argument about a grand jury subpoena challenge. An entire floor of the courthouse was closed to the public and press for more than an hour. During that time, attorneys secretly entered the courthouse to argue before 3 federal appellate judges over a grand jury subpoena. The mystery of the subpoena appeal appears to date back to early September, when CNN witnessed several lawyers from Mueller's office entering a courtroom to argue against an unknown defense team before a trial-level judge who oversees federal grand jury-related cases. Clearly, a challenge related to Mueller's grand jury investigation was underway. Shortly after, the judge, Chief Judge Beryl Howell of the D.C. District Court, ruled on a case related to a grand jury subpoena, and the losing party attempted to appeal the ruling. The appellate court batted the case back down to Howell, who held a second sealed hearing on October 5th. Though CNN was locked out of the courtroom while the arguments took place, the hearing featured the same team from Mueller's office as before, which included top criminal law appellate lawyer Michael Dreeben. Mueller's office declined to comment on the hearings. So something's up.
They shut down a whole floor for this?
Yep, no public, no press.
Okay, what the hell? That's weird. That is weird.
Is it the president? Do you think it's do you think they're trying to subpoena the president?
They could be, but I mean, there's no reason to make it that secret.
I don't know.
Old Grouchy Gamer. So now we have secret courts. Okay, yeah. This is weird.
Yeah. So
I can't think of anything that anybody that they would be calling unless they're trying to like subpoena Putin. I mean, I
can only assume the only thing that could make any sense, and of course it can sometimes be a very lame excuse, is if they were able to justify it by saying it was a national security issue in some fashion.
But again, I mean, we've been through this before. There's no reason.
Yeah. Maybe Stormy Daniels did a show for him.
Mattis says it's the Clintons. That was one of my thoughts when you first started saying this, but there's no reason to
keep that
drag
secret.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, this is very. I'm thinking it has something to do with the president. Like, I mean, well, obviously it has something to do with the president. It's Mueller, but like literally, directly, explicitly, the president. Although, but why would they keep that secret? That's the whole point. We've known forever that Mueller's team wanted to interview the president.
Sure.
Now we're talking about a grand jury subpoena, which is a little bit higher than just wanting to interview the guy.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean,
I don't know why it would have to all be sealed. Is the only thing that I'm not getting.
Yeah,
To the point of closing off the entire fucking floor. Really?
secret hearings away from the press and the public. Now, I can understand if there's something ridiculously confidential going on, or something like if they had to subpoena. Let's say they're trying to subpoena a foreign official. Let's say. And unless or until that was actually settled, it didn't make any sense to say that this person is being, because it might disrupt the investigation or something. I could see them making that argument, whatever the case is, but all the same, it's very odd.
I literally can't think of any reason they would have to do it that secretly. Like you said, the only thing that makes sense would be, the president. But if it was the president, I don't understand why they wouldn't just, you could try to subpoena him and they could challenge it publicly. I don't understand this. I really don't. Okay.
Maybe it's because of the leaks.
I guess we may or may not find out, I suppose. And my lights
somebody needs to find a source familiar with the situation and let me know what the hell's going on.
A source familiar with the matter. And lastly, before we get into the next half hour, granted, seriously, every time my lights flicker, I get a little nervous because I'm like, is this it? Is this it? All right. Trump names Mulvaney as acting chief of staff, not the chief of staff, acting chief of staff. Because he asked Chris Christie today to do it, and Chris Christie said, no. Holy shit. Thank you, Perfect Pitch. Thank you so much. One-upsmanship in action.
Is this about to be one of those streams?
Oh, boy. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I need to give a thank you too. Peter over on Streamlabs says, I can't beat Boatman or Prospero, but they gave me the urge to chip in a little. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I don't have words. I really don't. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Let me open my Streamlabs back up just in case.
I promise, guys, and I will put something out on Twitter in the next few days or so regarding the paying for. I wasn't kidding about that. I'm going to pay this forward because I have something in mind for that. But I will let you know when that comes. And so thank you guys so much. Okay.
I'm going to buy ramen. A lot of ramen.
So now, if Mr. Beast suddenly shows up, I'm not going to complain, but at the same time,
dude, I'm $100 closer to my Switch.
Mulvaney, Mick Mulvaney will become the acting White House chief of staff at the end of the year, President Donald Trump announced in a tweet on Friday. Yeah, earlier today, Chris Christie, former New Jersey governor, prosecutor, presidential contender, vice presidential contender, summoned to the White House, and apparently turned it down. And I'm like, what are you doing with your life right now that you couldn't take that? But of course, why would you want the aggravation too, I suppose? Thank you, Terry DeMontis. Let's tell every charity we can that Scribe is alt-right, so he has to keep the money for himself. Yeah. Oh, God.
I told y'all, don't make me laugh.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you, Ebony Williams. For you, my dear Scribe, have the merriest of Christmases. Guys. Oh, thank you so much. My English major fails me. What can I tell you? The poverty of my vocabulary prevents me from expressing how grateful I am. I don't know.
Tis the season, motherfuckers.
Tis the season, yeah. I don't have anything exciting to say about Mick Mulvaney being the acting chief of staff. It's just kind of shows that nobody wants the job. So Trump got somebody to do it part-time.
I saw that they were floating Newt Gingrich's name around.
Oh, well, I guess that wouldn't surprise me, but still, Newt Gingrich, why you want to dig up an old fossil?
Oh, I'd take him as my chief of staff.
Well, he would have a little cachet amongst the rabble, that's for sure. He was the leader of the last big Republican revolution.
Yep. He's not going to do anything for you in terms of politics. He's just going to, I think he'd be one who could get in there and, at least wrangle these fucking cats a little better than it's been being done.
I suppose. I don't know. Running a White House might be a little bit different than running the Senate, though. So
thanks, Peter.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, that's all the stories I had. Do you guys have anything?
No stories, but thank you for the donation, Peter.
Oh.
I don't remember if there was a story I wanted to tell. Oh, you know what? This is going to sound humorous, but it's really not. Any ladies out there that use Kotex Sleek tampons, check out the recall on that.
Oh.
Yeah, they're coming apart. I'm going to put the link in chat here. Yeah, they're coming apart, and there's women who have had to go into the hospital to have pieces of it removed. So, yeah, no joke about this one. I know usually tampon stories are jokes, but yeah, if you use those, check it out. Make sure the ones you have are not part of that recall.
Prospero, thank you.
Oh, wow. I had one more story. I had to do it through the private window because the Washington Post, the New York Times doesn't want me to read its stories because I had too many this month, I guess. But I found out where Gutenberg gets his money.
Yeah.
Authorities uncover an $8 million a week drug operation in Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
$8 million a week. It was a typical single-family house with a landscaped yard and Christmas decorations in a quiet neighborhood in eastern Pennsylvania. But this week, investigators, acting on a tip, uncovered a secret in the basement. A drug operation worth an estimated $8 million a week.
Jesus.
On Wednesday, prosecutors announced that 11 people were charged with felony drug offenses in the bust, which was believed to be one of the largest in the country. Quote, "This is a regular, middle-class, 9-to-5 neighborhood," Matthew D. Weintraub, the Bucks County District Attorney, said in an interview on Friday. "This is the place you would think of as Middle America." When Mr. Weintraub announced the drug bust on Wednesday during a news conference, local television stations showed footage of the... Whoa, what was that?
You okay?
I hit my mic.
Oh, I thought Scribe fell out of his chair.
Oh, I thought there was a power surge or something. I'm so nervous right now.
No, I turned around too quick in my chair and hit my mic.
Scared me. Stop scaring me. I thought Monkey fell down again. Thank you, the Hate Camel, for Dr. Pepper and Holiday Cheer. Well, thank you so much, guys. And Hate Camel and everyone else. Like I say, I'm tripping over my words. But seemingly not on the news stories tonight, which I'm very proud of. Okay, local television stations showed footage of the house at 669 Sherrill Drive in Warminster Township and its broken window and door. Acting on an anonymous tip received in July, FBI, county, and state law enforcement agents carried out the raid on Tuesday night. A statement from Mr. Weintraub's office said the investigators found more than 130 pounds of loose heroin and fentanyl and thousands of baggies stuffed with smaller quantities of the drug throughout the house.
Jesus.
In the basement, 10 workstations were set up to package the drugs, along with other equipment and dilution agents for processing. About $32,000 in cash was fastened into bundles with rubber bands. Records tracked the production of packaged heroin and fentanyl, and the district attorney's statement said, and the authorities seized a loaded handgun. This goes on for quite a bit, guys, but yeah, the rogues gallery they have near the bottom of the story with all the pictures of people and everything. I'll put the link in the chat if you're curious to know more. Just be warned that the New York Times lets you read only like 2 or 3 articles a month before they block you on them.
Whoa, breaking news.
Okay. What's up?
Federal judge in Texas just struck down the Affordable Care Act.
Oh, shit, son. Okay.
In a ruling sure to... you want me to...
Go ahead.
In a ruling sure to be appealed to the Supreme Court, Texas court says the ACA, also known as Obamacare, can no longer stand without the penalty against the uninsured. A federal judge in Texas struck down the Affordable Care Act on Friday night, ruling that former President Barack Obama's signature domestic legislation has fallen down like a losing game of Jenga. U.S. District Judge Reed O'Connor in Fort Worth sided with the argument put forward by a coalition of Republican-leaning states, led by Texas, that Obamacare could no longer stand now that there's no penalty for Americans who don't buy insurance. The U.S. Supreme Court had upheld the 2012 law by classifying the legislation as a tax. But since Congress removed the individual mandate in 2017, O'Connor ruled there's no way the ACA can be allowed to stand. Quote, the individual mandate can no longer be fairly read as an exercise in Congress's tax power and is still impermissible under the Interstate Commerce Clause, meaning the individual mandate is unconstitutional. O'Connor wrote, the individual mandate is essential to and inseparable from the remainder of the ACA. So yeah, since Congress took out the individual mandate and that the Supreme Court had ruled that it was constitutional because it was a tax, without the individual mandate there, it's not a tax anymore and therefore unconstitutional.
Wasn't that was supposed to go away next year though, right? Well, this year was the last year for it.
The mandate, yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. So if you didn't have insurance from this point on, they couldn't like charge you out the ass for it. And I think the penalty this year, because the penalty went up every year for a while, and the penalty this year was supposed to be $1,000. I don't know if that's changed for anybody who didn't have insurance this year who are going to file their taxes or whatever. But this year was supposed to be the last year for it anyway. So.
Well, then, breaking news, as we have done several times on the show before, guys. So there you go. We'll see what the fallout of that is. Probably, well, weekend's going to be kind of tough, but by Monday, we'll probably hear a whole bunch of public statements and things from people. Has Congress already recessed for the year, or am I?
I think they have a few more days, don't they?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, this will be Trump taking a victory lap. Amongst others. So, I thought.
Hey guys, I will be right back.
Okay. Well then, we're already deep into MSS news time. So, Monkey, do you have anything else right now?
Oh, actually, today might have been their recess. No. Okay. Other than guys, I do want to. You might have missed this on Twitter, but YouTube purged what they call spam accounts. So if you're not following, check your favorite creators. Make sure you're still following them because YouTube always fucks this up.
Yeah. But that aside, guys, if you have news stories you'd like us to attempt to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but that's because you guys send us so many. We don't have as much time as we wish we could. But given how we've been delayed tonight, pleasantly delayed, I'm just going to keep going until maybe 10 minutes after the next hour just to make up for it. So,
yeah, I don't have much fucketry, so I don't know if I have any.
Well, then, this first one comes from Massive Dynamics. My talking voice is going to be given a workout tonight. Did my children die because I married my cousin?
What?
That's the question of the headline is a question. Ruba and Saqib, if I'm saying that correctly, both carry a gene for an incurable condition, which means their children have a 1 in 4 chance of dying in early childhood. They've already lost 3.
Jesus.
Oh my God. Ruba now wants IVF to select a healthy embryo. Saqib is putting his trust in Allah, and some relatives want them to separate and remarry.
There's an idea. Or stop trying
to have children with your cousin. Ruba Bibi had not wanted to marry so young. She had planned to do A levels and go to university, but before she had finished her GCSEs, this is all British stuff, so I don't know what it means. Thank you, Alan Sawyer. Got my consent forms ready, going to pick up my date. You guys have a good evening. And if only you were completely joking, unfortunately. But before
you tape any sex so you have it on. You have proof.
And make sure it's not your cousin. Before she'd finished her test, her parents arranged for her to marry Saqib Mahmood, her cousin, in Pakistan.
Jesus.
Yeah, born and brought up in Bradford, Ruba had visited Pakistan twice before the wedding, once when she was 4 and once when she was 12. She couldn't really remember the man she was now engaged to and had never spent time alone with him. He was 27 and worked as a driver. She was 17.
Okay.
Quote, I was really nervous because I didn't really know him, she remembers. I was really shy. I couldn't talk much, and I hadn't ever had any interest in boys or anything like that. I was scared and begged my parents to delay things to let me finish school, but they couldn't. Okay? After 3 months in Pakistan, she was pregnant. She returned to Bradford 2 months later, shocked to be having a baby so soon, but also happy. When their son, Hassan, was born in 2007, she excitedly called Saqib to tell him that all was well, although the baby seemed to sleep a lot and had trouble feeding. I thought it was normal, Ruba said. A few weeks later, she went for a checkup, and as the GP watched Hassan moving, she noted that his hip seemed stiff. Quote, she said he was going to refer him, but I thought it was something minor. They did some tests, and then I got a call saying I had to come to the children's ward for his results. When I went in, the doctor told me it was very bad news. She gave me a leaflet and said that he has a condition that's very rare, and it was too much for me to take in, and I was just crying. I came home and rang my husband in Pakistan, who tried to calm me down. He told me that everyone goes through problems and that we would get through this together. Ruba had no idea that both she and her cousin carried the recessive gene for I-cell, a rare inherited condition that prevents a child growing and developing properly. Several months later, Saqib received a visa to live in the UK and was able to hold his son for the first time. Quote, he said he looked like a normal baby. He wasn't sitting or crawling, but my husband said some children were just slow, Ruba says. She, however, could see a big difference between her son and other babies the same age. Hassan was growing slowly and was in and out of hospitals with chest infections. And as he got older, his head increased in size. When their next child, Alishba, was born in 2010, tests confirmed immediately that she too had I-cell disease. She died at the age of 3. Okay.
Stop trying to have children, you fucknuts.
This entire story. Okay, this is dead children's story. Sorry, guys, I'm going to stop.
Yeah, all you're doing is killing children. Stop it.
Yeah, just don't marry, don't interbreed. I don't know what else to say. I don't know why that's such a novel thing. Apparently, obviously, it's not in Pakistan, but don't interbreed. Moving on. This one comes from Ayana. The internet is obsessed with this mom who set her son up on a date with a girl she met at a grocery store. You know, the internet is easily amused. That's all I got to say.
According to journalists, because all it takes is one person to be like, wow, that's amazing. And like the entire internet freaked out about this thing.
Oh, thank you, Cryptic. I dated a girl with MS. It was news to me.
MS news.
MS is news. And thank you, Jacob Jet. YouTube fucking up. Stop the presses, but make sure that's what their sources say. Yeah. A source familiar with the matter. I'm not going to go too deep into this because it's stupid internet stupidity. A mother from San Antonio is being deemed a wing mom after running into a group of girls at a grocery store who attend the same college as her son and proceeding to show them pictures of him unsubtly sharing his single relationship status. Yeah, mothers have never played matchmakers for their sons before, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully not within their own families, though, but you know.
Let's not forget, this is 2018, and if this story was about a dad who's like, father once again proves ownership over his daughter.
One of the girls in the group, Charisma Valdez, took to her Twitter to give a shout-out to the boy later identified as Cody Gonzalez. Gonzalez's mom, Patricia, apparently really sold him. Human trafficking! Human trafficking!
I don't know if I can let that name go. I'm sorry.
Name Patricia?
I thought you said Patricia?
That's the guy's mom's name.
Oh, no, what was the girl's name?
Charisma Valdez.
Charisma.
Yeah, I've heard it before.
I haven't.
Quote, if your name is Cody, you're 6'4", you go to UTSA, live at the Outpost, a sophomore, and majoring in global affairs. Your mom is truly your wingman, the University of Texas San Antonio student wrote, unexpectedly looping thousands of people into the hilarious narrative. And then there's a whole bunch of Twitter tweets and things, and I don't care. So there you go.
Can you imagine? Say, hey, what's up? You're a pretty young lady. You want to fuck my son?
Well, hey. That's how it used to be. Oh, there's Gutenberg. Gutenberg, I was just talking about you earlier. I found out where you get your money from a $8 million a week drug operation in a basement in eastern Pennsylvania. I assume.
Yeah, he straight up just sold you out.
Yeah. Human trafficking. Let's see. This one comes from Froggy. People are treating dogs like children and putting cheap dog food brands out of business. First off, that is not a new phenomenon of people treating their pets like children. Second off, free market.
I actually knew a lady who
You did?
told me, shut up, that her dog was her first child, and if she was ever to have a kid, which let's be honest, it's not gonna happen. But if she was to have a kid, she was going to make sure her kid knew that dog was her first kid and it came first. And I was like,
dog's not going to know anything.
Well, you know.
Insane in the membrane. Okay, so let's see. If you have a pet, you know they're an important, read critical, member of the family. We buy our fur babies toys. Okay, if you call your pet a fur baby, I don't know. I've lost a smidge of respect for you, I just got to say. We buy our fur babies toys, luxurious beds, and according to a recent report on millennial spending, I didn't know they had money. Some super expensive dog food. So much so, it's putting cheap dog food companies out of business. Well, then I guess they're going to have to step up their game. Welcome to the free market. According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, pet food brands such as Mars Pedigree, Nestle's Purina, and Kibbles and Bits have seen plummeting sales in recent years as pet owners opt for more premium ingredients for their four-legged friends. Oh, not Kibbles and Bits. Not Kibbles and Bits and Bits and Bits and Bits. All right. Well, I don't know, guys. People pampering their pets is not a new phenomenon. And again, if people are buying things and not other things, and those other things are going out of business, that's life.
Yeah. I do want to say, if people call their pets their children, it annoys me. It's not something don't call them children. They're not children. I have seen people get a little too into that kind of thing. And I know that's not exactly what this was about, but they're not children. Stop it. Make me get my newspaper out.
Thank you, Jenna P. Because I care as well. Well, thank you, Jenna P. I really appreciate that.
Use the newspaper on them and their dog.
Yes. Stop it. Look, I love my pets too. I always have, but it's gotten a little ridiculous the way people go on about how they're their kids. Like, okay, if you're being tongue in cheek, that's fine. The people who are like, no, these are really my children. Fuck you.
All right.
Unless you had sex with a dog, no, it's not.
Okay. Again, thank you, Jenna P. I really appreciate it. Let's see. This one comes from the Blind Rambler. Which I can't read apparently because it doesn't actually link to a story. It links to a Twitter summary. So I'm going to read the Twitter summary. Prada pulls products after claims of including blackface imagery in new collection.
What?
Really? Lawyer Shiniri Ezi posted a photo of the monkey-like figures featured in the window display at Prada's Soho Manhattan store. Her post immediately inspired backlash against the luxury fashion line and sparked discussion about anti-black caricatures. On Friday, Prada issued a statement saying it, quote, abhors racist imagery. The merchandise has since been removed. So it looks like if you took, I mean, honestly, it does look a little suggestive, just a smidge.
Can I share the screen?
Yeah, I want to see it.
There you go. I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Hold on. There it is. Okay.
It's a little tone deaf at best.
I can see them in making this and not thinking about blackface at all.
Yeah, but it's a butt situation.
I can also see where people would look at that and go, ooh.
Well, I just don't understand why people can't just be like, hey, that's a little suggestive. You might want to, instead of being like, oh, look, these blatantly racist people hate Negroes. Look what they did. And it's just like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I can see where they would say it, but yeah, like Satsu said, just like, guys, come on. And then they'd be, oh, you're right. We see it. All right.
Yeah, but they always got to try to fucking destroy something. Every time they see something, just destroy it. We got to take them down.
Thank you, the Chaos 1X. Turned 28 Monday, and my most notable feat is that the last 3 women I dated broke up with me by coming out as lesbians. Fuck my life.
Your birthday was Monday? Why weren't you here? Do you know how much I like to sing? You have another super chat.
Thank you,
Couple
Peter.
more.
The generosity is contagious. You're not kidding me. And thank you, Chicago Mike. Scribe, please interrupt Scribe. I can't escape it.
Chicago Mike, I love you. I don't usually do this because you weren't here on your birthday, but Chaos 1X, everybody's being generous. I'm going to be generous, and I'm going to sing to you for your belated birthday. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy belated birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy belated birthday, dear Chaos 1X.
Happy fucking birthday.
Happy birthday to you. I hope your birthday was good. Sorry about the lesbians. Hopefully the next one likes dick.
That's anyway. Oh, that's a sad story. Oh,
Did they at least let you join in once?
Yeah, kind of try to prove it. Let's see. This one comes from Pinkalo, the driving ape man. I saw this earlier today, and I wasn't surprised, but Facebook says bug may have exposed 6.8 million users' photos.
At this point, why doesn't Facebook just put everything out there?
Yeah, they might as well just say there is no security, there's no privacy. It's all fucked
Just
up.
open the fucking platform. Make it open source.
What are they spending their money on if not
security?
I mean, they're worth billions of dollars. You would think that the first and foremost thing they would be doing and spending all of their time, energy, and money on, as sort of like their military budget, if they were a country, would be on security of people's data. But no, ever since the what was that company that let all the Oxford?
Oh shit!
What was it called? It's called something academia or something, or academics or something. After all of these, I mean, it's like every 3 weeks we get a new notice. Oh, by the way, this type of data on Facebook got released to people without them knowing. Or by the way, there was a bug that allowed people to hack in and get your information. Or by the way, if Facebook is going to fail eventually just on the basis of it's not safe or reliable for people, and just the embarrassment of these constant failures, it's just.
I think they're using all of their money to try to train their leader how to act human.
God, yeah, they're trying to turn Pinocchio into a real boy.
Yeah.
Cambridge Analytica.
There it is. Yeah. You also have a super chat.
I do?
Yeah.
Where? Oh, it just appeared on my side. Sorry. Thank you, Jenna P. I love you 3, but holy migraine. Scribe, say hi, Scribe. Hi, Scribe.
Oh, apparently Sinker missed having us sing to her on the first, and she wants us to sing so that she can prevent her husband from muting you.
That is an interesting way to make us a utility, I suppose.
I am happy to help, but first I need to know how tall you are. What?
I know.
I'm doing research. This is for my thesis. This is for my master's in purgatory.
I need our audience to find me whatever the Latin phrase is for someone who has a sexual attraction to short people. I'm just curious as what it is.
Sinker, and Sinker's husband. This is for you, and a 1 and a 2. Happy
birthday,
belated birthday
to you.
Satsu should be talking here. Happy belated birthday
Hey.
to you.
I forgot I muted my mic.
Happy belated birthday,
Hey.
dear
Sinker
Sinker Fox.
Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Happy belated birthday
Happy
to you. I hope he had a great birthday, and I hope he enjoyed us singing.
Yeah,
Look at all these glorious songs you guys are getting.
I tried to channel Eeyore there a little bit. Thank you, Cryptic. Scarecrows usually win awards because they are outstanding in the field.
Nice.
And thank you, Ginger Power. My Christmas gift from my company, they closed their doors today, so I can't give a lot. Oh, shit. Well, you don't have to give anything. It's, oh, my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. That sucks.
I hope you can find something else quick, especially this time of year. Really, they did this. Holy crap! Right before Christmas. That's some Scrooge McDuck kind of shit right there. I'm so sorry.
Bullshit. Some bullshit.
Yeah, you don't have to. No one's obligated to give anything. I just want everybody to know that. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, but if you're under circumstances like that, don't worry about me. Thank you, Chaos 1X. Two men walked into a bar. One of them said, "Ouch." So you're taking a note from Cryptic as far as like quality humor here. All right, that's fine.
My favorite joke like that is a dyslexic man walked into a bra. It just always makes me laugh.
Okay, let's see. We'll do a couple more stories here, and then we'll get into other stuff. And my lights are flickering every time that happens. It's like I have a minor heart attack. All right, this one comes from The Reaper.
The Reaper?
Forget pot. Elon Musk is now raving about ramen. Monkey, are you excited about this?
I am.
All right. Let's see. Oh, Jenna says, Scribelight, I'm not giving any money for this one. My head blows off, Scribelight. You'll be raising my children. I'll make sure you have a difficult time learning their names, Scribelight. What? I'm very confused now. Please take your medicine and stop having a migraine.
She's telling you to stop killing her with her singing.
Well, I did it. It was a gentle, boring Eeyore voice. I wasn't going high-pitched or making crazy noises. It was just,
I went a little high-pitched a couple of times.
Yeah, well, you're still growing. Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk is a hopeless romantic. The billionaire who earned a scolding from NASA for briefly smoking marijuana on comedian Joe Rogan's podcast in September.
How dare he?
NASA's now the pot police, apparently, posted about another craveable item on Thursday night. Quote, ramen is so good, unquote, Musk tweeted, decorating the phrase with emojis of hearts and bowls of the tasty Japanese noodle soup. By midday on Friday, the tweet had been liked more than 260,000 times and retweeted more than 57,000 times. And that's news, guys.
I just want to
rich people eat cheap food.
I think it's not rich. It's geniuses eat ramen. That's what it is.
Thank you, Cryptic. I had to scale back my fish puns today. Oh.
Can I share something before we move on?
Is it herpes?
No.
Thank God. All right, go ahead.
I just put it on the screen. I'm also going to throw it into chat so you guys can look at it better if you'd like to. Grisella just popped up in chat and made me remember this.
Oh yeah.
This is Patsu, you guys. The fusion of Pat and Satsu.
It is, and you can tell it's Patsu because it looks more like Pat.
It's awesome. And
I told him he needs to make Sat Pat now.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
But Grisella, dude, you do awesome fucking work, man.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, dude, the dude who drew my avatar, he's a manga artist or whatever. I showed it to him and he was like, dude, this is fucking epic.
Right, it is.
Let's see. Not that one. Already talked about that.
BG says, is that why you keep falling down the stairs, hoping your balls will drop with you? No, I'm trying to shake the memory of banging your mom.
Oh! Thank you, Diesel Dave. Just don't get ramen with the bamboo.
Ew. For the record, I had ramen today.
Holy cats.
Damn.
Thank you, Dark Alile. Scribe, use some of this for Christmas groceries. I hope it won't be, but this could be among the last donations from me for a while. Job ends at the end of the year unless the company can find me a new project. Well,
dude,
my fingers are crossed that you find a new project. But guys, if you have lost your job or you are on the verge of losing your job, please keep your money.
Keep your money. Season for holiday layoffs.
I really appreciate it, and trust me, like I said, this will be paid forward in due kind within the next couple of days, and I'll make sure everybody knows that. But we have chat time. Save it for chat time. Just ask us questions and say things then. And really, Dark, I hope you find a new project or can find a steady, gig with someplace, because that's. Again, this time of all the times of the year, But anyway, we'll do this one from Chicago Mike because it's in the same theme. Why not? Boy Scouts of America considering filing for bankruptcy.
Does it let women in? See what happened?
The Boy Scouts of America are reportedly mulling filing for bankruptcy protection amid dwindling membership numbers and costly sex abuse allegations. The leaders of one of the country's largest youth organizations hired Chicago-based law firm Sidley Austin LLP for assistance with the potential Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing, sources told the Wall Street Journal. The Boy Scouts sent a letter to employees Wednesday saying the organization plans to, quote, explore all options available to ensure that local and national programming of the Boy Scouts of America continues uninterrupted, unquote. The organization, founded in 1910, is currently facing a number of lawsuits alleging inappropriate conduct by employees or volunteers in incidents dating back to the 1960s. By filing for bankruptcy protection, litigation against the organization would stop, and BSA could negotiate with those who have sued, the Wall Street Journal reported. So there you go.
Waffles.
Oh, God. Okay, somebody's gain just jumped because I'm hearing a whole bunch of static now.
That was mine because I muted my mic mechanically instead of through the doobly-doo.
Gosh, Satsu, always ruining stuff. Let me see if anything else. What's this? Okay, I think we're going to call it here for now, guys. Thank you so much for all the stories. Thank you. Like I said, you guys are 50% of the show, quite literally, and we really, really appreciate you.
And 100% of our employers.
Well,
okay, 2/3 of our employers.
2/3 of our employers, yeah. All right, so now on to YouTube time. I'll go first. I didn't do anything today because I had lots of other things to do, but my new video is still out there, and thank you guys for all of the comments and views and sharing of it, and thank you, Monkey, for promoting it as much as you have. I appreciate it.
Guys, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's a good one.
Satsu, what have you been up to today?
Getting ready for the stream tonight, pretty much. I haven't really done anything yet. I will say, though, that the video that me and Monkey uploaded on the channel, the one that was voiced by Monkey over on 2 Cents Plus, is doing very well, unusually well, actually, because me and Monkey worked on it together. We did the thumbnail together and uploaded the video.
Worked on the SEO together. Yeah, that was a group project.
Yeah, we worked out all that stuff and made sure that everything was as perfect as we can get it as far as the SEO score went, and it's been doing pretty damn good. We'll be doing a live stream tonight over on 2 Cents Plus, playing 7 Days to Die, and we'll be giving away a copy of Just Cause 3, the XXL edition.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be mistaken with the XXX edition. That's a
movie over on Pornhub.
Yeah,
it's a different game.
All right.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll see you guys there. But other than that, nothing really in the works.
Okay, Monkey.
Hang on. I did my Monkey in the Morning stream. Fuck, I couldn't even tell you what we talked about. You know what I know we didn't talk about? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I took a break from her today. Oh, we talked about the PewDiePie story. That was our main story today. Just because how fucking retarded that is. And I'll have you know that lady in there, you know, she's talking about how PewDiePie promoted that horrible white nationalist dude. I actually went and watched his stuff, not because of PewDiePie, but because of her. So she should flag herself down and never talk in public again. Because I wasn't going to watch the shit because I don't really care, but I wanted to see, you know, how alt-right he was. And I watched the video that the main one that they've been talking about, his review of Death Note. And maybe I just missed the alt-right stuff in there, but it just seemed like a review of the fucking show.
Nah, it's a secret. It's a secret.
I mean, one of the things she bitches about is at the beginning of the second episode, because this is a three episode thing he did. He plays the clip of PewDiePie where PewDiePie dropped the N-word on stream, but he cuts it so that that part is not said. It's just a little joke to lead up to that, and then he breaks it with something else. So it's like he didn't even fucking say it.
In the article, they made it seem like he did. They said he played that clip, and they didn't specify that portion wasn't played. They just said they played the infamous clip of Felix using the racial slur.
Now, I didn't watch any of his other stuff, so maybe there's stuff in there. But if there's a dog whistle in there, I'm not alt-right enough to have caught it.
Most people wouldn't be either.
So that makes me a good guy, I guess. But yeah, we talked about that, and it was a fun stream. It was a good one today. So, and people were very generous, like they've been on here. You guys are awesome. I've said this so many times, and I mean it. You are the best audience anywhere.
Yeah, like I say, I don't have the words to express how much we appreciate you guys.
You know what's funny about that, Scribbles?
What's that?
When I was ending my show this morning, I said that it's like no matter how much I say thank you, it never seems like I'm saying it enough. Like I'm saying the right words. I just can't express how thankful I am. So,
well, the right words are cauliflower.
Oh, I'm getting text messages from my wife.
Yes.
There's a 3-year-old.
Yes.
Who is desperate to get you a Christmas present.
Yes, on DMs, Lady Monkey is letting me know that this is an oncoming.
Okay, just so you're aware.
Yes, a wonderful thing that is going to happen in the future for me.
I told you she was already hyped about it, but now after seeing your present, she's very hyped about it.
I'm glad.
She loves her Scribe, y'all. She really, really does. No. She talks about you at home.
Oh.
Anyhow, I'm done.
Okay, well then, internet fucketry and or deep topics. We can merge the two since we're kind of running on different scheduling. Thank you, Point Curation. Thanks for doing what you do. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, Point, so much. And Merry Christmas for you in Canada, where I know it was Boxing Day is a thing, where you guys punch each other for a day. I think that's how that works, right? It's all, everybody just gets their gloves on and punches each other. Thank you, Snubberth. Monkey ER is a straight-on troll. ER.
That's the person PewDiePie had shouted out.
Right. ER is a straight-on troll. I mean, Medicare level. If you really want to nail ER, they should watch the Force Awakening review. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I was getting. I mean, he is very passionate about Death Note. And I actually thought his review, what I was watching, it was a good review. I've never even seen it, but from watching it, he compares the live action Netflix version of it to the anime that's been done of it, and to the original manga, and he did a very good job of explaining, what all they got wrong and stuff. I'll probably never watch any of it, but I actually enjoyed the video. So maybe I am alt-right.
Death Note is good.
You should watch his review, dude. Wow, he did not like that live action version.
So any other fucketry that you guys know of?
The Krasenstein boys are losing their shit over this Obamacare thing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Brian just tweeted out, let's make this very clear. Obamacare equal constitutional. Trump care, after the GOP removed the individual mandate for the Affordable Care Act, was ruled unconstitutional today. The ruling was not about Obamacare. It was about the GOP gutted version. Fuck off, you whiny little bitch.
Thank you, Cryptic. Farmers and their party, man. They turn up the music. Did I have any today? My day was kind of cut short by the office outing. Let's see here. What have I?
Actually, did we read this story on air? When is this from?
Oh, Subscribe Star.
Yes.
Did you guys hear about Subscribe Star?
No, what's going on with that?
Well, there's a video that Sargon put out that kind of gives more details, but the short version is apparently PayPal has suspended their connection to Subscribe Star because of, let's say, rhetoric going out there that Subscribe Star is now an alt-right platform. So, you can't go anywhere, apparently, if you are that depends on this kind of stuff for your income.
Well, maybe not. Jordan Peterson tweeted out today that him and the intellectual dark web. Do you know about the intellectual dark web?
Are they like YouTube scientists?
No, it's a name that has been given to certain creators, including Dave Rubin, Jordan Peterson.
Like the liberalists.
Kind of, but it's the group that hangs together. There's a picture of them. Who else is in there? Shapiro, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan's part of the dark web.
Yeah.
All right.
The intellectual dark web.
Yes.
I think it was either the New York Times or the New Yorker, I think, were the ones that did it. They wrote this big old article about it. Anyway, Jordan says they're getting together and they're looking and trying to find a way to become basically a Patreon. Oh,
they're trying to make their own.
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe.
So minds.com, the Patreon.
Well, kind of. I mean, if it doesn't have to be anything special. It can be just like Patreon, but not with dickholes in charge.
Yeah, but will they get like fee prostitutes to join them is the thing.
That's the question. That's what they're looking into. So
yeah, because if just the rumor or the notion that a platform is quote unquote alt-right friendly is enough to make PayPal and other places drop them, unless they then also start their own pay service.
Well, I think that's what he was getting at. I mean, the whole thing done through them.
That would be both a feat and a big bullseye for people. So,
well, he said what he said was that he doesn't want to, or they're looking into it because going too fast with something like this could be a huge mistake. So,
yeah. All right. Well, interesting.
I do have a little bit of fucketry. Christine Blasey Ford was back in the news.
Oh, what was she up to? Doing a speaking tour or a book or something?
She made her first public statement since her testimony to give an award for Sports Illustrated.
Oh, I saw that.
She presented an award for Sports Illustrated. That's
she. I'm sorry. What?
I said that's interesting.
Well, yeah. She did her first public statement since September to present Sports Illustrated Inspiration of the Year award to Rachel Denhollander, the first woman to publicly accuse the USA Gymnastics and Michigan State University doctor Larry Nassar, however you say that, of sexual abuse. So they pulled her out to give that award to a woman who actually was sexually abused.
That's amazing,
isn't it?
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
Yeah, I read that and like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Thank you, Cryptic. Ford was dumb. She wasn't focused.
Nah, she wasn't focused. I get it.
Har.
What else is going on? I think that's all I had today. I mean, there was a moron who said this on Twitter. He says, "I want to be clear. Libertarianism is a fantasy ideology promoted by societal misfits too scared to take a stance on issues that actually matter."
Yes, and that same retard actually said in a rebuttal to somebody who was like, "You don't even know what libertarians stand for," and he was like, "Well, I was one for 15 years before I dropped the label," and I'm just like, "So wait a minute, you just proclaimed openly online that those people are just cowards who don't want to take a stance. So you're telling us that you for 15 years has been a coward that didn't want to take a stance on anything, and now all of a sudden you're just better than everybody else because you dropped the label."
Yep.
Like, what a fucking idiot. Like,
yeah, it's fucking moronic.
These people are cowards who didn't want to take a stance. I was one of them for 15 years, but I'm not anymore. So here's me telling you guys how pathetic you are.
They've actually been, if you look at libertarianism, they've been on the forefront of a lot of the political issues of our time right now, like marijuana. These guys have been chanting for legalization of marijuana forever, since the 80s when they first had their big push.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate people.
He said they don't take stances on immigration, and there was like 2 other things that he had mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it helps that I mean, at least speaking for myself, at least I don't declare myself any particular political ideology. I'm sure someone could take the things I've said and the opinions I've put out there and put them on some kind of chart and say, well, you fall within this range and therefore you would be or considered X. But all the same, it's like, yeah, everybody has an opinion on everything. That's part of what being not only just American, but also human. Libertarians are cowards for wanting people to be free. Do you know how much opposition there is to that from the extreme ends of either side of the ideological spectrum?
Freedom scares people.
Well, yeah, especially for those that want to have control and they don't like people who aren't in their realm of understanding and or control. And I'm not saying that libertarians are the only brave people out there or something, but just the notion of what the high level definition of what a libertarian is, they're trying to get as much personal freedom as is, I think, reasonable. Some people take it too much to the extreme, of course.
They do. You have the ones who like don't want elevator inspectors. Like, no, those are pretty good.
Yeah, and so of course, as we've seen, running down the middle or not being so ideologically pitched to one side or the other only makes enemies of both sides simultaneously.
Isn't it funny how that happens?
I know. It's just...
It's almost like they want to keep the power for themselves.
Anyway, there's that.
Yeah, I run into that a lot anyway, because I do tend to come off libertarian. I am mostly libertarian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't claim the party because I do have issues with them. They actually, if you talk to your hardcore libertarians, they are more ideological than anyone else, to the point where they would rather lose than only makes baby steps.
Yeah,
it's actually why I walked away from them, is because they're so hardcore.
Yeah, extremism, no matter what we're talking about, is rarely a good thing. Just,
yeah,
because all you're doing, it's what was it? I'm suddenly reminded of a quote. I think who was it that said it? It was one of the Four Horsemen. I think maybe it was Dawkins. I think Dawkins said something to the effect of, any honest atheist, let's say, or skeptic, if they were asked from a scale of 1 to 10, that 1, you completely believe in God without question, and 10, you don't believe in God at all, or God doesn't exist, I should say. An honest person could only basically say they were a 7 at worst, because to say with absolute certainty that something doesn't exist is just as bad as saying something absolutely does.
Yes.
So absolute belief in something without question is not the place to be. The same thing with extremism on either end of the spectrum, whatever you're talking about. Yeah, if you don't leave room for the possibility that you may be wrong, you're not in a good place. You're setting yourself up for problems, or you're setting yourself up for totalitarianism in some fashion.
Well, Prospero just said it right. They lack the ability to compromise in the short term to move towards the long-term gains. Yeah, I got into a huge argument on a libertarian message board with them because I'm like, look, guys, I understand you want to get rid of taxes, and I'm all for that. I said, but why not start with lower taxes? That is something you can sell. We have gone so far away from the time where we didn't have a federal income tax that nobody remembers that. Everybody's like, well, how can you make anything work without a federal income tax? It can be done. There's still tax. That's what people don't understand. But like what you can sell them on is, hey, maybe we should lower taxes. And then you just lower them and show them that you can still live. And they're like, no, I'm not compromising my beliefs.
All
like,
or nothing.
The fuck are you talking? So you'd rather have high taxes than lower taxes when you're against them. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah,
it's all or nothing, monkey. All or nothing.
Yeah. If you guys don't mind, given everyone's, like I say, making me speechless generosity tonight, I'm just going to call it chat time now and give the rest of the show to the chat, if that's okay.
That's fine. I got to take some more medicine.
Yeah. I hear Gutenberg might have something for you in his basement. So everybody, it is chat time early. If you have questions, comments, complaints, conspiracy theories, opinions about baby powder or Mulvaney being temporary chief of staff or whatever goes on in Gutenberg's basement. Well, that was a Sally sells, she sells by the seashore kind of thing. Put them in the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of what was the term we came up with last night for him, Satsu?
For what?
Question marks.
Not question marks there. What now?
Oh,
chat marks.
Chat marks. Yeah,
chat marks. Please put plenty of chat marks after your question so we know it's for us.
That's right.
Faithless says, Scribe, like, what gift did you give and receive at work today? Oh, well, let's see. Well, I do the same thing every year, which is kind of boring, but also a running joke. I take a bottle of wine. I find the cheapest cheesy DVD I can find, like a kung fu movie or something, like at the dollar store, and I tape it to the bottle of wine and I wrap it up and I present it as a gift of wine and cheese. And it's been a very popular selection. So. That's what I gave. As far as what I got, it was a Yoda, a Santa Yoda. What do they call those little bobblehead things that are so popular now? The ones, the weird looking.
Oh, the pop. Fuck, what are they?
Yeah, the pop.
Funko Pops.
Yeah, Funko. Yeah. It's one of those. It's a Santa Yoda. I got that. That was my gift. Because people know that I like Star Wars. Okay, whoa, got to scroll up here. Okay, Monkey, are you okay, says Genevieve.
Yeah, I'm just sore and I keep getting shooting pains in the rib that bounce down the stairs.
Scribe Light, what was that on my Twitter feed, that pink-haired thing? That pink-haired thing? Did I send out something with pink hair on it? Oh, that is Queenie Martha, and she was using some kind of filter on her phone that made her look weird, and yeah, that's all that was. It's a cartoon. If you actually look at Queenie Martha's account, she's very pretty. She's got a pretty face. She was a Gamergate star and has been doing streaming and stuff for a couple of years now. Let's see. Random American, can you guys have a segment for good news once in a while? MSS News is where we get our funniest stuff usually, but from time to time, it's just one of those days in the news world.
Well, we talked the other day, real quick. This morning we mentioned the Gary Sinise thing. Gary Sinise sent 1,700 kids to Disney World, kids whose parents had died in the military.
Yeah.
And then we talked about this story where Tyler Perry paid off all of the layaway for 2 Atlanta area Walmarts, and then Kid Rock followed his lead and paid off one in Tennessee for $80,000 worth. Man, we don't. I mean, there's some good ones that have been in and out. We just don't have a full segment for it.
Adam Mangold says, Scribe, have you ever heard John Cleese on extremism? Yeah, I saw the Monty Python clip, I think, or at least a skit that he did one time, talking about how, the different groups and ideologies interact. And that skit is like, 30 years old or something, and it's still exactly relevant. Let's see. Red Castry says, Scribe, did you see the Brightburn trailer? I did. And I'd like I said to somebody, it's Superman is done by Blumhouse. It might be a funny little novelty. We'll see, I guess. Have you guys heard about this movie?
No, I haven't.
So this is produced by James Gunn. I think his first project since being kicked off of Disney. And imagine the Superman origin story, except that he's not here to do good, but to be a horror movie monster. That's kind of, if you had to think, it's evil Superman, but he's still a kid. It's still a child. We're still in Superman's formative years, and he's an inhuman monster.
That's cool.
Yeah, looks like a kid, inhuman monster. Let's see. Rico8181, Scribelight, I want to know your thoughts on the Catholic priest third highest getting busted molesting 2 kids. When I say third, I mean third highest in Vatican. Well, my thoughts on anybody who molests children is, my instinctive reaction is chop off their nuts and throw them in a hole for the rest of their lives. But barring the first part, do the second part. And especially when you've got institutions like the Catholic Church that have for probably centuries covered up such things. The fact that people are still, the fact that they have not taken everybody in that organization and put them through psychological testing of some kind to check on these things at this stage of the game, if for no other reason than legal liability, boggles me. And if this happened at the highest levels of the Vatican, as you say, I haven't seen that story, but I'll take your word for it until otherwise told. That's, I don't know. Now, the faith itself will go on forever. How the Catholic Church as an institution is going to survive this in the long run and being taken seriously by people, I don't know. But then I'm not religious, so what do I know? Angry Illinoisian, what's your thoughts on Mortal Engines? There's a joke on Red Letter Media that a line you hear way too often in trailers and in movies where someone says, "The world is changing." And that line is said by Hugo Weaving in that trailer, or in the second trailer for that movie. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, fuck this. Visually, it looks really cool. I didn't see anything in the trailer the trailers that I've seen so far that made me think it was anything more than your regular sort of, I don't know how to put it, like your Hunger Games kind of story. It's your basic underdog story kind of thing. The special effects overwhelm quite a bit. I really hate movies that rely too heavily on special effects at the expense of good story. And nothing I saw in the trailers convinced me that it was a interesting story. I could be proven wrong, but there you go. And I think Peter Jackson should just stick to doing small movies now. Go back to doing small horror movies and things instead of giant big budget stuff. You should go back to doing stuff like Dead Alive and Meet the Feebles or whatever. What else? Thank you, Cryptic. Glass Coffin's popularity is remained to be seen.
I think he's told that one before.
It sounds familiar. Gutenberg, Scribe, can I borrow $10 for gas? You can. Oh, borrow? Oh, I don't have a wheelbarrow. Sorry. Barrow, not barrow. Is that a Pennsylvania thing?
No idea.
Let's see. Snubbirth wants to know, Ranting Monkey, you see that tweet I just tagged you in?
No, but I can go look.
There you go.
Who was it from?
Snubbirth 13.
So, okay.
Snub. Let's see.
Oh, there we go.
And thank you, Stargazer, for putting the link to the 7 Days to Die stream that'll be taking place shortly after this one.
Oh, you've got to be shitting me.
What happened?
Whether you like it or not, Joseph Stalin was one of the greatest anti-fascists in the history of the anti-fascist movement.
I saw that.
Under Stalin's command, the Red Army defeated the Nazis and saved several ethnic groups from Nazi extermination. This is a legacy we cannot forget. She must have fell down more stairs than me.
Who said that?
Some crazy bitch on Twitter. Wait, I really need this answered for me. Why is it okay to glorify Stalin?
Why not? It's a free country. You can say stupid things all day.
No. If she had said this about Hitler seriously, she'd be banned from the platform.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And but saying it about Stalin, a man who killed 25 million people, well, that's all right.
Well, they were all white, I guess. I
don't get it. I really don't. And I'm not saying, hey, yeah, go out there and glorify Hitler. I'm just wondering why it's okay to glorify a man who did that, who fucking destroyed his own fuck off.
Let's see. Celtic Mandalore says, so as a nation, should the U.S. have an official language?
Yes.
I don't care. I'm neutral on the subject.
I just think that for the ease of communication, you have to have that in a country. At least to give us 2 official languages is something. So I mean, you have to be able to communicate. Just saying.
Satsu, do you have a thought?
Yeah. I think Monkey's right for the most part, but otherwise I don't really care.
You know what I like hearing?
What's that?
I think Monkey's right.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything else he said after that, but
you missed the alt.
Peter Silak Katie says, did you miss my Julian Castro question or just don't care to answer it? You're right on the first part. So, guys, again, if we miss your question, please just repost it instead of asking us if we've seen it, because that doesn't help when the chat's moving very fast. Sorry. I will try to find.
Yeah, you guys might not know it is really hard to catch everything.
Yeah, I mean, like, and especially if I scroll up in the chat to sort of freeze it in place so I can focus on a block of questions and things, and then if I move my mouse just a bit, it jumps and it goes all the way back down to the bottom, and I've missed like 20 different things people have said. So, yeah, and that's why the question marks are really important. Sorry, the chat marks.
Chat marks. Very
important, because I can then visually see what is actually a question to us from everything else. Genevieve says, Scribe, how long did it take your sister to get relief after treatment? Hoping it's a normal to take a day or so to kick in. I honestly don't know. I'd have to ask her. I don't remember what the time was between her injection and when her headaches went away. Although she took it as a preventative because it's supposed to last like a month. So I don't know that she was having a migraine when she had it done. It's sort of like you do this at the beginning of the month to sort of like cover a month's time of migraine potential. So I'd have to find out from her if she ever had it done while she was having a migraine and if there was an effect or what the time it took was. Point Creation says, do you agree or disagree for companies to share user blacklists / collude to censor political opponents is as serious as price fixing and insider trading? Well, Sargon made a similar argument, saying that by doing this sort of collective deplatforming, you've effectively turned all these media and internet companies into a cartel who are pushing out any, in this instance, ideas they don't like, and speech they don't like, and only allowing things on. So information fixing, info fixing. I could see somebody making the argument. I don't know how you quantify it when you're talking about ideas and people. You know what I mean? That's my reflexive thought.
Yeah. Don't we have something against that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the First Amendment or something.
But
it only affects the government. That's the thing. Is that it only applies to the government, and then it gets really easy down to private companies and things.
No, I swear there's a law in the books about companies colluding in that manner.
That I don't know.
I don't know if it would apply to censoring political opponents, though. Is it as serious as price fixing and insider trading? No. That can actually affect people's lives down to the ability to eat. So no. But it's serious? I'd say that.
Well, I mean, if you in a microcosm way, this is affecting the ability of people to eat, because if you take away someone's income through smashing them off of a fundraising platform because you think they're all right.
Sure, but the overall thing there is more about, silencing the opinion and the people's ability to share opinions that are wrongthink, more than, we're going to raid this company for all its fucking money and then just destroy it. Anyway, yeah.
Crack says, Monkey, why was your brain misfiring this morning? Have you ever listened to Monkey on a regular day?
No, there were several jokes this morning that I missed.
Oh.
And they had to be explained to me. And it's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on with my brain. I don't know why I missed those.
Backscan says, Ranting Monkey, I thought someone bought you a bar to hold on to when you go down the stairs. Don't tell me you just aren't using it.
No, I've been looking at it. I haven't bought one. I haven't even seen the price of it. My wife is worried that I'll just fall down over top of it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Diesel Dave says, Scribe Light, if you're in a relationship with someone that has kids, who comes first, the kids or the significant other? The kids will always, unless you have a really lousy parent, the kids will always take precedence. And I would expect nothing less from anyone I was dating who had kids, honestly.
But is he talking about it from the other perspective, though? From like, if you're the one, for you're dating a woman that has a child, who comes first, the child or the woman?
Well, it depends on what stage of the relationship you're in.
Yep.
If you've become close enough to the situation that the child is now a part of the relationship, then, you start balancing your time and attention, but you use the parent, at least in the beginning, as sort of your bellwether to tell, when is it appropriate, that kind of thing. At least that's my reflexive answer. Let's see. Celtic Mandalore says Shadow Mage, Shadow Warrior, Mage Warrior, or Shadow Warrior class style in games. It depends on the game and the mechanics that facilitate any of those things. Like in Skyrim, sneak and archery will win you the game very easily. So being an assassin type is very attractive. But in other games, maybe the mechanics don't lend themselves to one or the other. So, I don't know. Monkey,
none of those would be my playstyle. If I had to choose, I would be was Warrior Mage one of them? I thought that
Shadow Warrior, Mage Warrior.
Mage Warrior would be the closest to anything I would play.
A paladin kind of thing.
Yeah.
Shadow Mage all the way.
All right. Yeah, I figured as much. Let's see. Shadow Fruit Zero. I got Shadow on the brain now. Devil Fruit Zero. Ranting Monkey, what is you and Satsu's strategies for the first day of 7 Days to Die?
Get your quest done and find a place to hole up for the night, and then get as many resources as you can.
Yeah.
Before nightfall.
Let's see. Data Wasteland says antitrust. Jim Gila says RICO Act. I don't think the RICO Act covers things like, you see, first you'd have to prove that, and if we're talking about the whole cartel thing, you'd have to prove that they're committing a crime by voluntarily disallowing certain people or accounts to use their service. And that can be a very gray area legally. If you could prove then that that is a crime, you would then have to show that they all colluded to do that very thing to a certain group of people, and then maybe you could extend the RICO Act to that. But that is a long legal and windy trail and litigation that would take years and years and years. So that is my layman's interpretation of how I understand the law. Don't take me for a fact. Talk to a lawyer, dog. Thank you, Cryptic. When Lenin was dying, it was slow. He was Stalin.
I like that one.
Perfect pitch. Challenge for Scribe. Once Upon a Time in America, quick synopsis and why it's a brilliant film. Once Upon a Time in America tells us the story of bootleggers and the legacy they begin as children, friends in New York, and the lives that they lead all the way up through adulthood, and how they not only have to grow with the era they're living in, but how the era they're living in changes around them, and how some adapt, some do not. Friendships rise, betrayals die, and at the end of it, depending on the cut of the movie you're looking at, you're not sure if it wasn't all just a dream. And it's an excellent, excellent film. Some of the best performances you're going to see out of James Woods and Robert De Niro and those guys. It's not talked about as much as Goodfellas and Casino and The Godfather and stuff. But as far as a gangster film is concerned, it's excellent. It really is. Also, Jennifer Connelly, when she was like a baby, I mean, like, this was before Labyrinth and everything. I didn't even know. When I saw her in the movie, I was like, is that Jennifer Connelly? It's like, it is Jennifer Connelly. So. Okay, Peter Scribe says, Julian Castro said he is going to run in 2020. He was Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under Obama. How do you think he would do?
Not well at all.
Yeah, not well. He doesn't have as much cachet as like Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden. He could, I mean, stranger things have happened. He could always make some kind of speech or really outperform people on the stage. We've seen that happen before. But with the kind of powerhouses otherwise that are already lined up for this, like Cory Booker and Kamala Harris and everything, he's going to have a really tough hill to climb.
You okay, dude?
Yeah.
He doesn't have the name recognition unless you are a political nerd. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. That's a waste of money.
Let's see. Lucky Pop-Tart's here. Hi, Poppy. I've had migraines since I was 3 to the point I was hospitalized. I know where migraines are. That's why I put myself in a coma. Yeah, my mother has been plagued with migraines since she was very young. My sister and I inherited a thankfully watered down frequency of them. I haven't gotten a migraine in a long time. I'm talking about months at this point. My sister gets them relatively frequently, not all the time. There was a point at which my mother had to give herself a shot of something. I don't even know what it was whenever a migraine came on to try to stem the pain. I'm not, honestly, I think my antidepressant medicine that I started taking a couple of years ago has had a positive effect on reducing my level of migraines because my stress level's gone down. And I think a lot of my migraines were at least initiated by stress. So I've been fortunate. My sister self-medicates in several different ways, legal ways and not unhealthy ways, to try to deal with it, whether it be Botox or other things. So,
oh wow,
what?
I just found out that Streamlabs OBS added Facebook streaming support now.
Oh,
because apparently that's becoming very popular. Like,
yep,
streaming on Facebook is becoming a legitimate thing.
Mata Winter asks, should political affiliation become a protected class nationwide, not just in DC? Maybe I'm missing something. Is political affiliation a protected class in DC? I don't understand.
Should it become a protected class? No.
Yeah. and I wouldn't understand. I wouldn't know how that would work legally,
Well,
mechanically, like just
if you
political of any political affiliation.
like, if your boss found out you were Republican, they fired you for it.
Um, am I
I'm
remembering
struggling with that.
am I remembering incorrectly that people have sued for such things in the past and been successful?
I don't know if they've been successful. I know people have sued for it.
The answer is I don't know myself. I don't know how that would work because if you make just political affiliation, full stop, a protected class, then everybody is a protected class by themselves, which is supposedly how our laws are supposed to work in the first place, as we're all supposed to be equal under the law. But then what do I know? Let's see. Celtic Manlord says, speaking of bootleggers, my great-granddad did that almost right after he got off the boat from Ireland. It's hilarious to me. Bootlegging, I mean, you think about the reality of what some of those people were doing back then to try to make a buck, and it just staggers me. Just the risk they were taking, the adventure, the payoff. Times were much more interesting back then, and I think they're glossed over in some of the history books when you actually think about what it would be like to actually do some of the things those guys did. And some profited off of it better than others, like Joseph Kennedy. But that's all in the past. Let's see. Hey, Camel says, because my chat jumped. Did any of you see Elizabeth Warren's comments at Morgan State? She said she is not a POC at a historically black college. So what the fuck was that DNA test about? She's
fucked.
She's taken a shotgun, put it right up to her foot, looked at herself in the mirror and said, am I going to do this? And then she pulled the trigger and said, oh, I guess I did that. Her whole DNA thing, if she had said nothing else about it, it would have died. It would have just been relegated to Trump level and right-wing complaints, and it would never come up again. The fact that she did a self-forced error in taking a DNA test that showed she had about as much Native American in her as I've got Martian. Yeah. She's done. She'll run. She won't win.
Kara asked me real quick, on a scale of 1 to 10, how proud am I of what she said yesterday? 11, sweetie.
What did you say yesterday?
She made a joke about Ocasio-Cortez. I don't want to say it because I don't have it pulled up in front of me.
Okay.
So I don't want to fuck up her joke. But yeah, she made a joke at the expense of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and somebody tweeted it out, and I laughed my ass off.
Okay. Let's see. Lucifer never changes. I suggest that your sister wears a binder. It helps for me, and it could help for her. I'll have to. I haven't actually talked to her about her migraines in a long time. They're so a part of her life, and it really comes up. But I'll be seeing her this weekend, so I will ask her, and if anything comes out of it, I will let you guys know. Carrick says, Scribe Light, I found that stress is a common trigger for me as well when it comes to migraines. Yeah, I having my stress and anxiety level reduced, and consequently the number of or the frequency with which I get migraines. Correlation does not necessarily equal causation, but I'm willing to bet that that's a positive fringe benefit of my medication. Substance Whoop, does Scribe Light's sister have Botox lips? No, she might have Botox forehead because that's where they inject the stuff. But she hasn't had Botox, I think, in several months because the whole insurance situation, they wouldn't cover it and she had to pay full price. And she really can't afford to pay full price. So. Hypnagogue Monk says, Scribe Light, that falls under discrimination laws. Okay, if you eject somebody because of their political beliefs. I thought it did. I didn't have the Equal Employment or Civil Rights Act in front of me to tell, because I know a lot of things are listed in there, and I thought political affiliation and or creed and everything could fall under that umbrella. So let's see. Renovatio Juris. I suffered paralytic migraines for years, slurred incoherent speech, paralysis, switching sides for 4 to 5 days like a TIA, couldn't stand light, stopped smoking, and started vaping. Haven't had one in 4 years. Well, I'm glad you haven't had one in 4 years. That sounds fucking horrific. Jesus. Let's see. Kara says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how proud? Oh, that monkey. We talked about that. Sorry, I saw the chat marks and I got confused. And Scribe Light is now explained. I explained my entire self. Wow, I didn't know I could do that.
I have to point something out. This morning on my Monkey in the Morning, I named it PewDiePie is Ruining YouTube. Mm-hmm. It is my most disliked stream, I think, ever. Because people aren't actually watching it. They're just thinking I'm actually saying that he's ruining YouTube. I see. Don't just read headlines, people.
Perfect Pitch says, Scribe robot warning. It took you 0.0001 seconds to gather your thoughts about Once Upon a Time and present synopsis. Don't take this the wrong way, but you might be a robot or an app. No, I own that movie. I love that movie. I'm just fortunate you picked a movie that I know very well. Because if you'd said something like else, and I'd be like, well, I can tell you what other people have told me. But fortunately, I can speak from experience. Because it's an epic piece of sort of American, actually, it's not technically American cinema since it was done by an Italian, but it was filmed, so far as I know, in America. But American actors and everything else. It's great. Great gangster movie. It's right. It should be talked about alongside Godfather, Casino, Goodfellas, because it's great. Let's see. Genevieve says, do you know how many shots you get for a Botox migraine session? I asked because I learned how many times I want to know if it's normal. Okay, I will ask. I'll be sure to ask my sister about her Botox procedure and experience, and I'll try to retain as much as I can for the next time I'm on air, which won't be until Monday, guys. I will be gone tomorrow, off to see family, so I will be back on the air for the show on Monday. But fortunately, Monkey's already got a guest lined up for tomorrow night. Who is that guest, Monkey?
It will be Dax O'Ryan, my cohort in the morning. He's going to come hang out with us tomorrow.
All right. Let's see. Gary Sandwith says, since hate speech is now part of the terms of service in many companies, do you think that it's time to extend the First Amendment into companies that operate within the U.S.? That's the government telling companies what they can and cannot do and who they can and cannot serve. So that's a tough sell. But on a sort of opinion level, not like the lunch counter kind of deal. I don't know. I mean, in my heart of hearts, I hope that the principle of the First Amendment, even if it's not legally tied to anyone other than the government, permeates a lot of what we do in this country. Obviously, that's not the case because companies and private industries and private citizens, et cetera, can deny or dismiss whatever they want on the basis of hate speech or promotes violence or something else. They can sort of justify it however they like and face little consequence. To actually make the First Amendment apply to the law of the land, like flat, like no exceptions, that's a bigger question than I have an answer for, honestly. Monkey?
I'm sorry, I was responding. So what was the question?
Should the First Amendment apply to companies as well as just the government?
No.
Yeah.
The companies are private and they have the same rights as people. They're run by people. No.
Let's see. Point Creation says, I got no other jokes for now except Elizabeth Warren. Hope everyone has a nice night. Bye, Point. Thanks so much.
See a Point. I did see a story earlier today that is suggesting Warren is working in cahoots with Sanders for the presidency.
They will fail.
They will fail badly.
They might split off some votes in whatever they're planning on doing. That's the only possible threat they might pose to anybody on the Democratic side. So remember, guys, even if a candidate on the Democratic side is a bad one, if they decide to go solo or otherwise disrupt things, they may not win, but they also may make the Democrats not win, period.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see on that. You get your own little Ross Perot's running around. A lot of weird things can happen. Jenna B says, Scribe Light, you said you have a little bit of Martian? Sure. Why not?
That's what makes him look Asian.
Oh. That was the milkman that my mom won't fess up to.
There you go.
Peter Silak Katie says, Satsu, did you watch that anime Amon Apocalypse of Devilman I posted and tagged you in Twitter a week or two ago?
No, I answered them in chat. No, I haven't seen that.
Let's see. Ebony Williams says, Scribe Light, top 3 favorite books. Oh, God. Well, my sort of boilerplate answer, it's not one book, it's a series. It's called the World War series by Harry Turtledove. The original 4 books, those are the best. It's about it's historical alternate history fiction where aliens invade the Earth during the height of World War II. But the aliens aren't goofy cartoon aliens. They're treated like, sort of semi-realistic. And so you see all these historical figures having to come together in odd ways with the author, a brilliant author, taking the real politics of the time and working it into a story of what would these nations actually do in such a situation? What would individual historical figures have done if they were faced with such a thing? It's really interesting. As far as other books, Stephen King's The Stand comes to mind. That's one of my favorite books. And Kane by God, what is his? I always want to say Byron Huggins, but it's not Byron. I always say Byron, but something Huggins, Cain. It is the greatest action horror movie that's never been produced, but is a great book, a great action book. Lots of good. Like, it's got monsters, it's got cultists, it's got ex-military guys fighting evil. It's great. We got 1 minute, guys. I'm not going to get to all the questions. Hypnagogic Monk, does Tim Cook believe the First Amendment is a sin? At this point, it sounds like it if you listen to his speech from a few days back. Perfect Pitch says, that's what all the robots and apps say. Yes, I deny my robotism. Nobody important. Scribe Light, love the World War series. Have you read the Great War series by Turtledove? Eerily prophetic to the current political situation. I haven't. I stopped reading Turtledove a while back. I fell out of the habit of it because he put out so many books and so many series that you had to buy them all and read them all. I like the Two Georges, which he did co-authored with Richard Dreyfuss of all people. That was an interesting. Yeah, it was one where I
didn't know Dreyfuss wrote.
Well, apparently he did for at least this one, or at least contribute. It was a story where America never had the American Revolution and was basically a satellite of Britain. Mm-hmm. There's a murder mystery, and you have a detective from the Royal Mounted Police in a world where I think it was set in the 80s or something. But in this 80s, technology did not advance the same way because of what happened. So we're all riding around in dirigibles and have steam-powered cars, and hot chocolate is like a delicacy.
Oh, wow.
It's an interesting. I mean, it ends up being sort of a gumshoe murder mystery, but it's in this alternate universe, steampunky. Anyway, guys, thank you. I don't have enough thank yous in my vocal cords to express everything you guys do for us on a daily basis, and especially tonight. Thank you so much for being our audience. Thank you so much for your attention and your contributions, both in stories, in conversation, and in donations. That one I can't, like I said, I can't express strongly enough.
Best audience anywhere.
Best audience anywhere. Thank you, moderators, for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience really moderates themselves if they need it at all. Remember, guys, right after the stream over on 2 Cents Plus, you can watch Monkey and Satsu fight zombies in 7 Days to Die and get some pointers. And as well, there'll be a free game giveaway of Just Cause 3 XXL edition. So look out for that. Remember, tomorrow night, per usual, you'll be on Monkey's channel at the regular time. I will be absent. I'll be off and running to visit family for the semi-holidays. And I will do my best to quiz my sister on Botox for migraines so I can let you know what's going on with that on Monday. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much again. keep an eye on Twitter over the next couple of days and on the show. I will be, like I say, I'll be paying it forward as best I can. Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone, your lives make our lives better. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Love you guys. Night.
Bye, guys.
Oh, could I swear this is true. I could not have randomly picked a more appropriate secret word for tonight. I swear to God, I opened up my book, Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, The Romance and Sexual Sorcery of Sadomasochism, dropped my finger on a random page. Today's secret word is humble.
Good one.
I swear that is exactly